It's Monday. You know what that means. Time for another episode of the Flex Zone Podcast, episode 415. Living the dream. Only place giving you sports how you want it, when you need it. We're talking about it here tonight. All the hottest sports topics in the universe. We're recapping and putting a bow on the Major League Baseball season. There was a major trade last week in the NBA. Ravens improved to 7-2. Washington Commanders clean house, but get a win. We recap week 9, give out our game ball, not so game ball, checking on Monday Night Football, and look ahead to week 10. Yes, week 10 already. And we got a little WWE talk as we are on the road to Survivor Series, Crown Jewel in a review. And a certain Punk may be returning to the E. If you guys are watching right now on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell, vote on the poll, let us know your thoughts on the weekend that was in sports. Maryland took an ass whooping. I may touch on that as well. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, episode 415, coming to you right after this. More exciting than those midterm elections coming up tomorrow, Raj. It's the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place fellas giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
We are running a 3-man weave tonight, ladies and gentlemen. No Cravante, but our brother will be back with us next week. But make sure ball doesn't hit the floor, fellas. Just like running in basketball when you do the 3-man weave, ball don't hit the floor. But first and foremost, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell, vote on the poll, donate to us via Cash App, the Flex Zone 1, the Flex Zone 1 at gmail.com. If you want to be part of the show, ideas, sponsorships, anything you would like to say to us, you can email us there. The Flex Zone 1 Twitter, Instagram, and that TikTok is the Flex Zone Podcast. Throw your ones up, acknowledge the Hit of Sports Podcast table as we are leading the charge in the hottest sports talk. Check out all our other videos. We were live this past weekend for Crown Jewel. Thank you for all the love and support on that. We'll be live for much more this coming week. And of course, the Ravens post game shows each and every week. Um, let's get to it. You guys know I am God's favorite host, but can't do the show alone. Starting things off is our social media producer, the man who was at the bank yesterday, watched a dominating Ravens performance. He's feeling good. It's Big Raj.
Finish him, Daddy.
Oh, you don't got no intro for me? Okay. Never mind. Unless you played it and I can't hear it. But I probably can't
Drake can hear it. Drake can hear it. The people can hear it. Dre heard it, right, Dre?
Yeah, I can't hear it.
That's neat. It's growing on me, Unc. It's growing on me, baby.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do after I do my intro. Well, after I do my little spill, I'll let you talk, Dre. Then I come out and I come back in so I can start hearing things. I guess it's my StreamYard acting up. But anyways, this is your boy Big Raj. I'm here. I'm a little pissed off tonight watching them damn Lakers, man. I love the NBA and I love what the Golden State Warriors did for it when they changed it up a little bit, shooting threes and making threes cool. But why does every team got to do the same goddamn thing, man? The Lakers was down by 1 point in 2 minutes to go, and they shooting about 4 or 5 3-pointers. Didn't even attempt a 2-point shot to take the lead. All 3-pointers and lost the game by 1 point. Dumb basketball, just straight dumb.
Well, I know you can't hear Raj, but I'm gonna do that. For the Lakers,
they need the belt. That's today's day, unfortunately.
Yeah, a lot of people today need the belt, if you know what I mean. But Dre, I'm gonna let you say your thing. I'm gonna come out and come back in so I can start hearing sound effects.
it is the man of 1,000 nicknames, the Flex Zone Messiah, the head of the Flex Zone table, the tribal chief, the creator of the Flex Zone podcast, Mr. 25-8, the man more meaner than the vaccine, the Pride East Side savior of misbehavior, my boy, my brother, the super producer, Mr. Morgan State University, the dean of Ball So Hard University. He is Drizzy Jones. Oh, Raj, can you hear now?
Oh yeah.
Dre, how you feeling, my brother?
I told you, man, it's grown on me a lot, man. Especially since I started watching NXT, man. Byron, appreciate that intro as always, man. Like you said, 3-man race. We're missing our good brother Cravante, but fellas, we gonna hold it down, man.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Aaron, I see you. I know your Cowboys took a tough loss. Miss Queen, appreciate you as always. David, even you in the chat as well. I know you're impatient, but the Flex Zone, we are on CPT time, aka Flex Zone time. But let's get to it. Let's hit on some of these quick topics real quick and Flex talk that we didn't get to talk about last week. Dre, you mentioned it in the chat. We talked about it. The Texas Rangers win the World Series, their first World Series, 11-0 on the road, and their manager Bruce Bochy came out of retirement, wins his fourth World Series championship. Remember, he won 3 with the San Francisco Giants, wins with
Yeah,
the Texas Rangers their first World Series. They spent $500 million 2 years ago. People thought they were crazy, and it looks like it's paid off, much like we saw with the Rams in the NFL. F those picks. I guess F that money in Texas, that oil money. The Rangers are world champions, and they swept the Orioles on their way there. So I guess the Orioles can hang their hat on that.
yeah. It's not quite blood oil money, but that Texas money is a little different. Ask Jerry Jones. That I'm happy, for this team that they got their first World Series championship. Especially some of the teams that they beat along the way, the Rays, us, in Baltimore, being that um, well, the Diamondbacks, we didn't expect for them to to get that far, but I mean this Texas Rangers team. Oh, and they beat the Houston Astros as well. So this Texas Rangers team is nothing to sneeze at. I felt like they really deep once they beat the Orioles, you could kind of see like, whoa, this team is really for real. And hopefully the Orioles can take some of the blueprint of what they got and apply it, because I feel like the Orioles are right there. They just will learn. Hopefully they learn from their past mistakes. Invest in some pitching. This is a young team. And you see what if you invest the money in, like the Rangers did, then you can see the end results. And hopefully the Orioles can, like I said, learn from the mistakes of not getting far in the playoffs, and then capitalizing on it for the future. But I mean, hats off to this Texas Rangers team. They had a lead, for a while in the division, and then they started, dipping off a little bit. But you see that they peaked really at the right time, and it doesn't matter sometimes about seeding. It just matters in baseball. As we all know, it's just a matter of what team gets hot at the right time, and the Rangers just got hot at the right time. And also, hats off to them, because going 11-0 on the road, that's nothing to sneeze at either. I mean, because that's the first team to ever do it, and to win all 11 games on the road. We always talk about home field advantage, but this team didn't need home field advantage. They won a lot of their games on the road, which is very hard to do when you think about places that they had to go to. Like I said, Baltimore alone, and we've all been to Camden Yards this past year. When the Orioles are rocking, man, I mean that stadium is one. It's an experience. I would encourage everybody to visit that ballpark. And then Houston, their ballpark. I mean, you can already see that the past World Championships that they've won, and then you went on the road there and was able to steal some games in Houston. So. Like I said, this Texas Rangers team, that's going to be a team that's going to be here to stay. But they did the right thing, Orioles, putting investment into pitching and other needs, so that way they can advance, and you see what the end result is.
Raj, let's get your thoughts on the Power Rangers, as we call them.
The Power Rangers. Yeah, man, they whooped everybody's ass. And they started with the Rays and then the Orioles, and then they went into a nice battle with the Houston Astros, and then they put the smackdown on the Diamondbacks. So I mean, at least the Orioles can say they lost to the champions, man. I mean, that granted is not what we wanted here in Baltimore. They they laid a huge egg, but I mean, it was a perfect case of a team getting hot at the right time, and the Power Rangers got hot at the right time. I mean, Zordon was The manager was going crazy, and and all those guys was just hitting home runs left and right. Before you know it, I mean, you was down by like 5 or 6 runs, and it happened just in a matter of a couple
Kind of like the
minutes.
Warriors, Raj. How they got hot, that they just pull away, making threes. They was hitting home runs.
Right, exactly. So I mean, shout out to them, man. I mean, they deserve it. They're the true champions. We'll see what happens going forward, but yeah, man, they came out of nowhere. I mean, really, they really did come out of nowhere, and they just found a way to continue to keep hitting runs when everything else was not going too well for them. I mean, pitching was okay for them. They did go out there and get some good pitchers, but it came down to the runs, man, and the runs was just destroying everything.
Well, let's get to another real quick topic. Last week, Raj, you broke the news. It was what, a week ago today, about when James Harden was traded to the Clippers. He made his debut actually tonight. 17 points in a loss. Dre's already putting his thumbs down. I mean, we know you guys are both Lakers fans. That y'all have your own problems, but Harden to the Clippers to pair with Westbrook, Kawhi, PG, Ty Lue, the coach. How you feeling about it?
I mean, it was interesting. I think this trade happened in the middle of the night. I think last Monday, I believe, right after we got off.
Yeah, it was like Tuesday morning down there. Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday morning. So, I mean, I'm not really shocked the way that this happened. I mean, James Harden has been really upset with Daryl Morey, his former GM from the Houston Rockets. He just followed him over to the 76ers. And I guess Daryl Morey promised him something, maybe more money, maybe a huge contract or whatever, and he didn't deliver. But we knew this was coming. We knew that James Harden wasn't going to last with the Philadelphia 76ers. So the trade itself, I mean, it benefits both teams. I really do think that the Clippers, I mean, they really need him? No, but he does add another person that can score the basketball. Doesn't really play that much defense, but I mean, granted, if Kawhi is not healthy, which seems to be a lot at times, he can definitely fill in, for him. But I mean, this is a trade that needed to happen. He wanted to go to the Clippers. Usually, the NBA, all the NBA players go to the teams they want to go to, except Damian Lillard and Chris Paul. But we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be interesting watching all those guys play with each other. I guess Westbrook is coming off the bench, or maybe Harden might come off the bench. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm not too worried about the Clippers, man. I got to see how they gel going through the season. It might get interesting down the stretch, but the Clippers, they got a lot to show for it, and we got to see if that team can stay healthy, because since Paul George and Kawhi Leonard has been together, they mostly have never been healthy down the stretch. So we'll see what happens, man. It's an interesting trade for the Clippers, but this is something that needed to happen because they've been stale since Paul George and Kawhi Leonard has gotten together, and maybe this might be a jump start for them to actually make it further than the second round of the playoffs.
Miss Queen, we see you in the chat. We know you love James Harden, but real quick, Dre, they started Harden, Westbrook, Zubac, Leonard, and George tonight. So they started all of them together.
Look, Queen, I know you love James Harden, but in the words of our good friend El Crawford, he's a loser. To be on his third team in like 4 years? It's ridiculous. You bitch and moan about Houston, who paid you the bag, but you get up out of Houston. You go from Houston to the Nets, and then you see that experiment. The three of y'all couldn't play together at all, and then you get to I don't know what type of fat man suit that you had, or what type of Nutrisystem diet that you was on, but you went from being a fat man to you lost like 50 pounds overnight. I don't know what the world happened between Houston and Brooklyn, but you get to Brooklyn, and then that's a failed experiment. You go to the 76ers, and then again, that's a failed experiment. And every time you went to a team, you failed. And not only did you fail, It's because you didn't show up. You didn't show up with the Houston Rockets, and you had a couple of games where you could have closed the deal, and you didn't. Several times we could point to the Spurs series, we could point to the Golden State Warriors series, and I'm talking about this is Houston. James Harden, the MVP years. Then we're talking about you go into Brooklyn when Kyrie Irving was out with an injury, but it was you and Kevin Durant, and then you didn't show up for that series against Milwaukee, who went on to eventually win the championship that year. Uh, and then you go to the 76ers, and then you didn't show up, and you didn't show up in that series either. I think it was against Miami, or was it against Boston? Byron, which I don't remember which
It
one, but
was
either.
the Boston series last
Yes.
year because they got put out
But
by Boston.
it's always game. It's always with this cat. It's always game 6 and 7 when he does not show up, and I don't understand how you can drop 40 in the beginning of the series without Embiid. Embiid returns, and then you're a no show. But yet, then you demand the bag, and then you want out after you get your money. So I don't know what Daryl Morey lied to you about. Maybe it's because he said that you were going to do a sign and trade. I don't know. And David, to your point, I don't know what help he needs, because this guy has played with Chris Paul in Houston. He's played with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. He's played with Embiid in with the 76ers. And now with the Clippers, you're going to play with and I forgot about Westbrook in Houston. So now you're going to play with Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. And I'm letting you know, ladies and gentlemen, this is an absolute joke. This team ain't going no goddamn where. And I mean, I know that we like to. I try to make it like a PG show, but I have to cuss because this is utterly ridiculous. All those teams, and you don't show up, but yet you want to go to a winning team talking about you're missing a championship. You don't give a damn about no damn championship. You're like Carmelo Anthony. You want your money at the end of the day. That's all this is about. The Clippers ain't going no goddamn where, because between load management and injuries, this team is going to fail in the playoffs, y'all. We've seen this time and time again. Paul George is either going to get hurt. Kawhi Leonard's going to complain something about his hamstring. I don't know what in the hell. Some knee problem with his Bengay or icy hot that he needs. I don't understand, but he hasn't played a full season. We talk about Anthony Davis not showing up. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George have not showing up for the Los Angeles Clippers, and they got a new stadium being built, but yet want to put James Harden like he's going to put butts in the seats. He ain't selling no goddamn tickets. And then you got who's the other Westbrook? Yeah, it's just a bunch of failed experiments with James Harden. If anything, I wish he was out of the league, because James Harden is not showing up right now. And until he shows up, we keep talking about, oh, James Harden's going to do this. Yes, you can have 4 All-Stars, but these are like the Lakers. They're like 4 people past their prime. When we got Carmelo and when we got
Karl
Carmelo
Malone
Payton,
and Gary Payton.
who didn't do a damn thing. It was Shaq and Kobe really who really was carrying that team. It's just Kobe and Shaq just didn't get along. Had Kobe and Shaq got along, the Los Angeles Lakers would have beat that Pistons team. I'm telling you. And I'm not saying that as a Lakers fan. I'm saying that real talk. They really probably would have beat them. But that's beside the point though, because this Clippers team, like I said, they're not going anywhere, especially with a stacked West. It's just not happening when you got teams like the Lakers, you got teams like the Suns, you got the Denver Nuggets, and those are just a few teams right there in the West that can beat this team probably. So no, I mean this Clippers team, it looks nice on paper, and this would have probably been nice maybe about 5 years ago, pre-COVID, but now no.
Pre-COVID. God damn. I mean, come on, come on. All right, hold on. Time. Wait a minute.
Well, James Harden is a free agent at the end of the season, and the question is now, when does Joel Embiid ask for a trade? Because it's only a matter of time for he wants out of Philly.
I say he asked for a trade mid-season. I don't see Joel Embiid finishing his career with the Philadelphia 76ers. They can't really do nothing much for him. I mean, Tyrese Maxey is a good player. Don't get me wrong. And Kelly Oubre is over there. He can play a little bit as well. But other than that, they don't have really anybody over there. And the process has been a failed experiment. Ben Simmons left them. James Harden has left them. But Drake, you did forget one thing that Harden did play with, and that was Durant. He played with Durant as well. He played with damn near everybody in the league. But I mean, hey, He is a loser. You are right about that. He doesn't really show up in the playoffs. And this is about money, of course. But like I said before with the Clippers, man, we shall see, man. We shall see. I'm not going to write them off just yet. If they can stay healthy, they do have a legit shot in the West. They really do. But they have to stay healthy, and we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, the Lakers surprised me last year by making it to the Western Conference Finals. I didn't see that happening. I thought they wasn't even going to make the playoffs, but they did. So, like
Raj,
I said, I'll get a Clippers one more chance. One
be
more
be,
chance.
be real, be real, man. This Clippers team is going as far as the Suns. Nowhere.
Oh, come on, man. I can't say that. Well, the other Suns you might be right about because Bradley Bill's back is looking like Tracy
Oh
McGrady's back
Lord.
right now,
Oh
Brad,
and
Lord.
Brad
that's not a good.
Hill, Booker, Durant. I mean, it's just like I said, it looks good on paper, but at the end of the day, these teams ain't really going nowhere. Like you said, Harden, he did play with Durant in that series against Milwaukee. And what did he do? Not show up.
Not a damn
Uh,
thing.
I mean, it's just constant. It's just it looks good. Like I said, it looks good on paper, but at the end of the day, we know where all these teams are going.
Well, we will leave it there, Raj, real quick before I put you on the screen to talk about our Birds of Baltimore. The 76ers did play the Wizards tonight,
Oh God.
and you know what that means.
Come on now, say it with me. Everybody beats the Wiz.
They only got one goddamn win, man. Come on, man. Everybody, you right. Everybody does beat the Wiz, man. It's just ridiculous right now.
You
But it
surprised
is
that?
what it is. No, I'm not surprised. They playing like every hard team right now. Like literally every team that they
Do they
play
need the belt?
let's transition to the Ravens, please. I don't want to talk about the Wizards, man. I don't want to talk about that team.
All right, let's
They're
get to what the
terrible.
people came for because there's a lot of Ravens fans in the chat. The Ravens are on fire, winners of 4 in a row, improved to 7-2, dominate the Seahawks 37-3, rush for nearly 300 yards. Lamar's looking like an MVP. The defense is probably the most dominating defense since maybe the '06 Ravens defense. They have given up the least amount of yards since 2008 and are second overall, first in points, first in sacks. Odell got a touchdown yesterday on his birthday. Happy birthday to Odell. The midst of a 3-game homestand, improved to 7-2, first place in the AFC North, tied with the Kansas City Chiefs, best record in the AFC. Raj, how you feeling today, man? You got to be happy
I'm
about these
feeling.
Ravens. I told you were gonna like Todd Monken, man. Just got to give it time.
I like Tartary. I like Tartary Mumpkin. He's a good coordinator. But that's I mean, he's a part of the reason why this team is looking the way they look. But to be honest with you, man, like I said before, if y'all didn't hear me yesterday, I'm sorry about the audio, man. The audio was all the way kind of messed up. We was at Glory Days. The
Those goofy
Cowboys,
ass Eagles and Cowboys fans.
yeah,
You
the
can see.
Cowboys,
I'll
they
see
was
it, baby.
acting like straight assholes, man. But that's neither here nor there. Um, to be honest with you, man, ever since Roquan Smith has joined this team, the defense has really changed in a great and exceptional way, man. I mean, we saw yesterday. I saw Patrick Queen making play after play after play. Um, uh, Geno Stone, of all people, have got another interception. I mean, he's looking like what Marcus Williams should be doing right now, and that is just an amazing thing to watch. Then we got to see Keaton Mitchell, undrafted, rookie free agent, come in there and just dominate. And his first ever carries of the game. Only had 9 carries, but he rushed for 138 yards. I mean, it's just an amazing. It is amazing time in Baltimore right now. It really is, man. And a lot of people have not given us our respect. After the off season, we went through a tumultuous off season with the Lamar thing and the contract and is he coming back and all this other nonsense. And soon as Lamar and got back and Odell signed with this team, I knew Odell wasn't going to be what he was going to be. I already knew that was not going to happen. Everybody had high hopes for him. I was like, I'm just glad Lamar's back. I told you before, I'm just happy that Lamar Jackson re-signed with the Ravens because I knew that this team can be exceptional, especially with a new offensive coordinator and a new direction in the team itself. But Roquan Smith, like I said, man, he's the key, man. He really is the key on defense because he just gets everybody going. It gives me that feeling that I had 10 years ago, watching, 10 years ago, watching that Super Bowl with Ray Lewis, and, how everybody was just, gathering up and always playing extremely hard. And, he had the speeches and all that other type of stuff. And I just got that feeling with Roquan, man. I see him on the vault with Bobby Trossett and Sarah Ellison, and he's just giving these one-liners that are hilarious. But I mean, he actually means what he says. Is like, we're gonna turn the Seahawks into, we're gonna see what that bird looks like on Sunday, and they destroyed that bird. You know what I'm saying? That bird is no longer flying. You know what I'm saying? But I just get a sense of urgency now with this team. I see more passion, more fire, and it's a good thing, so that Lamar don't have to do everything by himself. And on top of that, he doesn't, on the offense, he doesn't have to carry everything on his shoulders either. He can hand it off to Andrews. He can give it to Bateman or Odell or Zay Flowers or Keaton Mitchell or Gus or Justice Hill. I mean,
Your
Lamar
boy
has
Likely
plenty.
even showed up yesterday.
Who? What would you say?
Your boy Likely even showed up.
Even Likely, you had a couple of nice catches, man. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's pitching in, everybody's helping, and that's a good thing. But the biggest problem the Ravens have is these fumbling issues, man. They cannot seem to get out their own way with these damn fumbling issues. I don't understand why, Lamar and Justice. I say Justice. Well, yeah, Justice Hill. I don't understand why Lamar and Justice Hill can't find a way to stop fumbling the football with each other. They got to work on that. I mean, I know they're working on it, but they really got to work on it, or to stop doing it altogether. But that's probably the only weakness the Ravens have is the fumbling issues. They didn't hurt them yesterday, and it didn't hurt them against the Cardinals or the Titans, but they play a even better team. I mean, they could hurt them down the stretch. So they really got to focus on, cleaning that up for real. But other than that, man, the Ravens are on the right path right now. Every national media outlet is saying that that they're probably the second best team in football. They can do everything, and of course, you still got some haters out there that are saying, oh, like what's his name from it was the cat. I forgot his name. One of those damn coaches. I forgot the dude's name, but he was saying that Lamar only got 9 touchdown passes, and I don't see how this offense is different. Like, bro, are you watching the games? So what? He has 9 touchdown passes. That doesn't mean a damn thing. He's out there driving the football down the field. He's out there making plays when plays need to be made, and if at the goal line. You want to run the ball in. You want to give the ball to Gus Edwards. Eric Mangini. Thank you, David. Eric Mangini was out there talking that nonsense. Yeah, Eric Mangini was talking that foolishness earlier today. I don't know if he's watching the games or not, but he needs to. If you ain't watching it, you don't need to be commenting, bro. Watch the damn games. Lamar Jackson, his completion percentage is telling it like it is right now. He was 21 to 26 yesterday. He was efficient. Throwing the football.
He leads the league in completion percentage.
Leads the league in completion percentage. I mean, so what? He has 9 touchdown passes. You know how many touchdowns we put up? It's not all. See, it's not all about gaudy numbers. It's not all about the 300 yards and the 3 touchdowns and all this other nonsense. As long as you get touchdowns, I don't give a damn how you get them. You get them by running the football. You get them by the defense getting you touchdowns.
I think Mahomes only threw for 30 yards in the second half yesterday. By the way, we don't hear nobody talking about that.
Exactly. Nobody's talking about that, but Lamar gets this pushback because he only got 9 touchdowns. It's ridiculous, man. It's just flat out stupid. You put up 37 points, and they 37 points. Who cares? I mean, it gives a damn. I don't care about Dak Prescott numbers. I don't care about who's his quarterback on the screen right now. This dude for the Chargers.
Herbert.
I don't care about Herbert's numbers, man. If he throws up 400 yards or whatever. And don't get me wrong, C.J. Stroud is a beast, and because he threw up 470 and 5 touchdowns. But it's not all about the numbers; it's about the winning.
18-1 against the NFC, Raj.
18-1. and Lamar Jackson knows how to win football games. So, like I said before, man, this team is in the right, is on the right path. If they can stay healthy, if they can find a way to stay healthy the rest of the season, I don't give a damn who's on that schedule. I don't care if it's the Chargers, the 49ers, Browns, Bengals, Steelers. It don't matter to me. If you can play like how you played these last 3 games, and just find ways to improve, and stop the fumbling, and letting Keaton Mitchell get a couple more carries here and there, ease his way in and mix it up a little bit. This team could definitely go far. This team can really go far, man. They don't have any real weaknesses, not at all. So I'm happy to say, man, this is a perfect time for the Ravens to make a run for real if they can just stay healthy. But I'm loving what I'm seeing from this Baltimore Ravens team. Can't wait to go to next week's game. I'll be at the Cleveland game. Can't wait to see what they do against Cleveland again, especially with Deshaun Watson out there. So we shall see, man.
Jersey Dre, Dean of Balsall Hall University. I know you loving this.
Raj, that was a nice monologue right there, man.
Yeah, yes, I had a monologue. Yes, I did.
So Raj made most of the points. So I'm just gonna add on a few more points. The Ravens, they did they're if you look at the next 3 games, that's going to tell a lot about where the Ravens are moving forward. They got 2 division games against the Browns and then against the Bengals coming up. That's going to be a tough stretch, being that they played the Browns on Sunday and then the Bengals on Thursday. Granted, these games are both at home, but they're still tough. And then I think that it's either the Chargers or the Rams. I can't remember which LA team is next for them on the road.
Yeah, the Chargers.
But these 3 games, if they win these next 3 games, we're basically in the driver's seat. I think Kansas City will probably be the number 1 seed still. They just seem to keep finding ways to win, and we'll probably be the number 2 seed. But if the Ravens can get that home field, like you said, the real turning difference with the Baltimore Ravens has been that Roquan Smith trade last year. Once Roquan got on and he was added to the defense, you just see that the defense has completely changed. The fact that they're comparing this defense to the 2000 Baltimore Ravens defense is telling. You can see that they're just smothering people on defense. And the only time that we've lost these past 2 games, the Colts and the Steelers, was when the Ravens got in their own way. It's not like teams are beating the Ravens. The Ravens are beating themselves. And you see that we've already beaten the Bengals. And I believe that we can beat them again. If we don't, I think it would be more so on the short week, being that more so than the Bengals just really came in and beat us. But like I said, these next 3 games are going to tell a lot about this Ravens team. But I mean, you're seeing them smashing some of the top teams in the NFC, right, with the Lions and the Seahawks. But I mean, right, to me, Lamar Jackson playing at an MVP caliber level, like you said, his completion percentage is off the hook. I mean, he didn't even have to score a touchdown yesterday, but the fact that this team was just all on one accord, and we talked about trading for a running back. I was an advocate saying that let's trade for Saquon, if not Saquon, like try to get Derrick Henry in here. But I mean, this team proves, hey, we don't need a next man up. We legit we don't need to trade. We have a next man up mentality, and it's paid off. I mean, this team, you're right, Raj. We some of us, we thought that Odell would have a real big impact, but I think it was Byron who was saying that low. No, or was it you? I can't remember. One of y'all was saying that watch out for Zay Flowers because he's been the real MVP right now. It's been you. It was you. What is it from when you went to training camp, right?
Yeah, and I went to training camp and I saw him up close and personal. I just thought he looked better than everybody else out there. But I was the only person that was saying that though. But he just stood out. I mean, he does everything a number 1 wide receiver can do. So.
And I mean, the beautiful thing is we're paying Lamar, but I mean, we have Zay Flowers on a rookie deal. Maybe if they want to bring Odell back, they can restructure it. But I mean, right now between Zay Flowers and Andrews, I mean, even Nelson Aguilar and Likely, they're making some real contributions. I mean, and Odell is too, because Odell has been able to at least draw in a lot of penalties. So, granted, he just got his first touchdown yesterday. A shout out to him on his birthday. But I mean, this Ravens team, they're clicking on all cylinders, and if they continue to do this, I feel sorry for some of the other teams that may come about in the AFC. But I mean, that home field advantage is going to tell a lot moving forward. So hopefully they can win these next 3 games heading into the bye on a good note, and we'll see from there. But David, what do you want to talk about? Write your comment about what you want to talk about with Odell, because I think Odell, maybe, like I said, he's not getting into the end zone like that, but he is contributing, being that whenever we go to him, I mean, he's a pass interference call waiting to happen. And the next thing you know, the Ravens are doing so well with their run game that, I mean, over 250 yards, just pounding teams with running. And then, I mean, even Lamar, like you said, it's not the glossy numbers, like 300 yards, but I mean, is it efficient? Is it getting us down the field, and is it doing what it needs to do in order to get us wins? That's all that matters to us, really, at the end of the day, and that's all that really should matter at the end of the day to anybody. Because I mean, we were talking about Tua, but sometimes Tua wasn't putting up those type of numbers, either. So. I think that this team right now is doing what they need to do, and these next couple games are going to tell you a lot about the Baltimore Ravens.
Justin Madubuike, got to shout him out real quick, leading all defensive linemen in sacks with 7.5. He's about to get paid. What did D call him? Madubuike paid. He's going to get paid.
I forgot what he called him.
Madubuike paid. He's going to
I'll
get
call
paid.
him Mata Beast K, because that's what he playing like a beast.
He looking like the man he trained with, Aaron Donald. So he's dominating. Patrick Queen. Marlon Humphrey played well yesterday. You didn't see, I mean, outside of what? Donkey Kong Metcalf's big
50-yard catch.
That was it. I mean, he held Lockett, he held Jackson Smith and Jegba down. So if Marlon can play like Marlon, that shuts down one side of the field. And Brandon Stevens is playing a hell of a job at corner too, man. I'm very impressed with him.
So let me just say this to David, man. Let me just say this real quick. I understand that that Odell is not the old Odell from the Giants making one-handed catches. We understand that he's getting older. He's 31 years old. He had a couple of surgeries. He's been hurt a lot. We get that, but Lamar Jackson wanted him on his team. He asked the Ravens organization to get Odell. This is his guy. This is who he wanted. So they said, you know what? We'll get him for you. So they got him for him. So that's what he wanted. That's what he got. And if that's what it took for Lamar Jackson to resign with the Ravens, I don't give a damn how much money they paid him. I wanted Lamar Jackson back. So it doesn't matter to me if they paid him $15 million, $18 million or whatever it was. As long as Lamar Jackson's in the jersey for the next 5 years, that's if it took to get a broken Odell Beckham Jr., it is what it is.
And you know what?
I think Odell's best games are ahead of him, though. I think his best games are ahead of him.
Let me chime in real quick too about what you said about Odell, because remember there were also rumors that they needed both Odell and D-Hop. The way this team is playing, man, it seemed like they don't really need Odell. They don't need D-Hop. I mean, they really are clicking. Especially if the way that Zay Flowers is playing. Andrews, he's still there, but it's been really about Zay Flowers this year. So I mean, Lamar is still, to me, proving that, hey, like you said, it got him to sign because like he needed the Ravens to be like, okay, I need some help here in the wide receiver position. But even those, it's always the guys that we don't expect to really shine out and really ball out. I mean, and Odell, like, yeah, you might have overpaid for him a little bit, but it got Lamar Jackson to re-sign, and it's also helping other talent as well because, like I said, Zay Flowers, Nelson Aguilar, they've been able to step up, and it's also
Bateman had a couple yesterday too. If Lamar could just throw a better deep ball, Bateman would have had a touchdown.
Yeah.
Bateman was beating his guy. Bateman beat his guy twice.
Right. That's another thing. Lamar got to work on his deep balls, man. Like I don't think he's thrown a good deep ball this whole season. That's been
it's like he's gotten worse at it. I don't know what's going on.
He hasn't.
But yeah, with Odell, man. I mean, like you said, we got about what 8 or 9 more games left. I mean, we'll see what happens.
I
Odell
think
looked
his best games
okay.
are ahead of him.
Yeah, he looked pretty good yesterday. So I mean, he's getting back into form. I don't think he's completely washed, and I don't think he's worth $15 million. Of course not. But he's a championship wide receiver. I mean, he won a championship 2 years ago. He was going to be the
Yeah.
freaking MVP of the Super Bowl 2 years ago if he would have continued to keep playing if he didn't get hurt. So just stay calm, man. Just stay calm. Oh,
And
this is exactly why we got Odell. We didn't get him for September and October and early November. We got him for December and January. We got him for championship time. So if he can just stay healthy, and keep and doing this thing, little by little, he'll definitely play a big role when it comes to the playoffs. So
And David, I don't know if you're familiar with Seattle, but their secondary is probably the best secondary the Ravens are going to have to play all season. They have three legit corners: Witherspoon, Woolen. They added Leonard Williams. So the fact that the Ravens were not only to create some plays with their wide receivers against those corners, which you're going to need to do in the playoffs, they were able to still run the ball, and that's what the Ravens do best. They've done it better than anybody since 2019. Run the football. And if the Ravens can just run the football like that,
Yeah, they
I'm
said
excited to see.
cards. They've out rushed people. Amazing stat.
David, we'll see. They got to play the Bengals in a week, and they may have to see the Chiefs in January. So we shall definitely see about that. Um, let's go down 95 or up 95 because they were in New England. But we saw Cravante's Commanders win, beat the Patriots 20-17, proved to 4-5, still alive in the playoff race. But they traded Montez Sweat to the Bears. He signed a new contract with them for a second round pick, and Chase Young for a third round pick to the 49ers. Dre, your thoughts on the Commanders, real quick. I don't know if you want to hear the song, because I know it's no Cravante, but they did win yesterday. You want to hear the song?
Haters can't stand us. Left hand up. Commanders. Commanders. We fight for RDC. Who are we? The Commanders.
Ah, let me chime in real quick. The Commanders. Um, I mean, it's a big victory anytime you get a win over the New England Patriots. But Ron Rivera still being there, it's not going to last long. And then you still got the Eagles and Dallas and the Giants in your division. So, I mean, these are great victories, but they're not getting them Caleb Williams any closer.
And Rod, your thoughts? I know Dre is on the move, but this team might still make the playoffs, man. I think Rod, you were high on them this year, man. They still might make the playoffs. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I told Cravante they was going to win against the Patriots. The Patriots are one of the worst teams in football. They don't have an offense. The defense is still pretty good, but I mean, they're really lackluster for real. So the Commanders had a good chance, even though they traded Chase Young and Montez Sweat. They still got a good chance. They're 4-5. The Cowboys are no world beaters. They play the Eagles extremely tough. This is a tough football team, man. I mean, things are not going their way, of course. Sam Howell is, some at points he turns the ball over too much, but I mean, he's pretty much this is his actual first year of starting,
And
full
I think he's
season.
been sacked the most since David Carr.
Exactly, and his offensive line is horrendous. So I mean, give it some time. I think the Commanders, maybe not this year, but maybe next year, if they can get an offensive line, they'll be improved a little bit more. And of course, Magic Johnson is going to want his guys in there anyway. So this was a good win for the Commanders. They played pretty well, but we shall see, man. They got more work to do. Pretty sure they might. I don't know how many more games they're going to win this season, but I mean, Cavante will probably let you know next week when he does his diatribe of his Commander's
Oh, he
report.
didn't even pick him this week.
I know he
He was
didn't pick.
he was happy they got
He wants to
everybody else
tank.
there.
He wants to tank, I guess, for Caleb Williams, but that's just not going to happen. But yeah, the Commander's going to fight hard, man. This is a new regime. This is a new era for the Commanders. Will they make the playoffs? Probably not, but they're going to always fight hard every game. So that's all you can really ask for if you're a Commanders fan. And this is exactly what they did this past Sunday.
I mean, they play the Seahawks this week. That's a winnable game. I don't care, man. I know the Seahawks are the better team, quote unquote, but the Commanders, man, if they can look at what the Ravens did, run the ball and get after Geno, because Geno Smith is turning to who, Raj?
Oh, Jim Malenko, the man for
Yes,
1,000 turnovers, like he
yes. I
was
think he
this
has the
past
most.
Sunday.
Yeah, I think he has the most turnovers in the NFL.
I mean, I'm
Interception
showing
wise.
my age when I say Jim Malenko. But yeah, if you don't get the
A lot of
reference,
people
it's an
don't get the
old
reference, man.
WWE
Yeah.
reference.
Yes. Yeah. The man with 1,000 holds. Then they play the Giants. The Giants just announced Daniel Jones towards ACL today. Then they
They can
play the
beat them.
Cowboys on Thanksgiving. They can beat them.
They
And
can
then
beat them too.
they play the Dolphins in Landover. They
They
play the Rams and they play the Jets.
I mean, they can run the table. Oh, I can't go. They ain't gonna run the table, but they can win. They can win a lot of these games, though. They no, be honest with you, they really can. They can win a lot of these games. So they're not really out of it. Uh, Now, will they win all these games? Of course not. But they have a chance. They still have have a good chance of winning some of these games. So since the season's not over with, even though a lot of Commanders fans think it might be, season's not over with. They still got a good chance of doing something positive.
Yeah, man. They go 4-4 down the stretch. They might make the playoffs.
Right, they
I
could
mean, because
sneak in there.
the NFC South, and that's going to be trash. I mean, the West is kind of wide open. The Vikings are still alive, and we'll get to that in a second as we get ready to do the scoreboard. But I'm watching this Monday night ass whooping right now, Raj, and I
I
wanted
am
to
too.
touch on that. I know you love seeing our friend Q's Jets not only lose but suffer and get the belt because they're getting their ass whooped tonight. I think you pick the Jets today?
I did, man. I picked the Jets because their defense. I mean, they have a really good defense. I'm not even going to front. They did have a really good defense, and for most of this game, they've been playing pretty well. The defense, I mean, the defense has been showing up. They stopped the Chargers a couple times, but they have lapses, of course, because no defense can hold a team down all the time. So the offense tonight was just completely awful. Zach Wilson missing wide open receivers, overthrowing wide receivers. The running game really didn't get going today. Dalvin Cook is still looking terrible. Um, yeah, I mean, it happens, man. It happens. But the Jets, this team, man, they're trying, man. It's not like they're a completely awful team like they used to be in the past, but they're not. They're definitely not made for prime time, especially with not having Aaron Rodgers out there. So sucks for them, but it's not really a shock at all because the Chargers are supposed to be beating teams like the Jets without their starting, quarterback. But it is what it is, man. Maybe the Jets pipe whoever they play, I think they'll bounce back next week.
Well, let's go around the NFL. Let's talk about it. We can go back. We kind of recapped some of it yesterday, but it started on Thursday. We saw the Steelers beat the Titans 20-16. Will Levis didn't look bad, Raj, but I call the Steelers cockroaches. No matter what you do, they don't die. They're impossible to get rid of. They survive everything. And this team is still on pace to make the playoffs and possibly win double-digit games, man.
Yeah, they're horrendous offensively, the Steelers, but they find ways to, you know, just win games. I mean, their defense is great too. Like I say, TJ Watt is a huge difference maker on that team. And every time he's out there doing his thing, it might be curtains for the other team. Trust me, as a Ravens fan, we know and I ain't stopping no cap. I ain't stopping no damn cap. All right. The Steelers are still a good team, man. So even though they stink on offense.
Yeah, they got the Packers this week, play the Browns, Bengals, Cardinals. So the Steelers are going to probably be in the playoffs. I'm just gonna put it out there now, Ravens fans. So
Yeah,
I know Sharon, our good friend.
can you imagine if the whole division is in the playoffs?
I think they say they're all on pace to win 10 games. So I think if they started today, which they don't, all the AFC North teams will be in the playoffs, Raj.
That is so ridiculous. That's just ridiculous, man.
Toughest division in football. I don't care what nobody says.
The best division in football. But I told you before it was going to be completely hard for the Ravens this year. Like there's no letdown games. There's no taking no Sundays off. If you take a Sunday off, you might lose the damn division. So that's how good this division is. That's just a testament of who's playing in it.
Let's get to some of these other games. It started in Germany. Chiefs beat the Dolphins 21-14. They were up 21-0. Looks like the Tuners were showing up. Then the Dolphins showed up. Tua, last drive, they couldn't get it done. Don't know why they stopped running the ball, but Pat Mahomes only 36 yards in the second half. The Chiefs defense, Raj, they are carrying them, much like the Ravens defense is carrying them. 21-14, Chiefs win yet again. It's going to be interesting to see how they go down the stretch, but they got their revenge, I guess, on Tyreek Hill.
They did, and the Chiefs, they do what they do best, man. They show up in big games and they win these type of games. The Dolphins look like front runners right now. They lost to the Bills, lost to the Chiefs, lost to the I think lose to the Eagles too.
Yep.
Yeah, lost to the Eagles. So I mean they're front runners at this point. Until they actually can beat a good legit contending team, they're going to continue to be the team that can play great games, but can they get over the hump when it's time for them to get over the hump? Can they actually make the playoffs again and win a playoff game? Because they're a warm weather team, and usually Dolphins don't do very well come December and January, and at the beginning of November they're just not looking right. So we shall see with them as well. Tyreek Hill is going to do what he do. Tua got to get it together though, because he turns over the ball a little bit too much for me. And I think that running back that was destroying everybody at the beginning of the season, I think he'll be coming back pretty soon as well.
Oh yeah, A-Chain.
Yeah, A-Chains. But yeah, as David would say, they are the Dolphins. They are pretenders. But the Chiefs, they're still the kings of the AFC at this point, until further notice.
Browns whooped the Cardinals' ass. Deshaun Watson don't look now, but he could possibly be healthy and getting back to possibly being Deshaun Watson.
We'll find out next week when we see them. The Cardinals, they started some rookie, some
Clayton
bum.
Tune, negative 0.88 fantasy
quarterback
points. I
rating.
had to start him this week because Trevor Lawrence was on bye.
Yeah, that's a damn shame. That's a goddamn shame. But yeah, whatever. The Cleveland did what they're supposed to do. Don't play with your food. Just completely devour it and eat it, and put it in the wastebasket. Yeah, goddamn. Negative 0 point.
That's Clayton Tune.
Yeah, he was all. Yeah,
yes,
that's
Clayton
a damn
Tune,
shame.
negative 0.88.
That's a damn shame.
Yes, for my family.
You actually started.
I'm still winning. I'm beating Rouse.
You started him.
I had to. Trevor Lawrence was on bye.
Come on, man. You could have just put nobody there and you'd have been all right. I mean, damn, man, that's pathetic, man. But
I am still winning though. I'm beating Rouse actually. Surprisingly, I don't know how.
That's insane. But yeah, man, Cleveland Browns. We'll see what they do next week, man, and we'll see if Deshaun Watson is up for the task, because we missed playing him. And we missed playing him week 3 or week 4 or whatever, when he got hurt, his shoulder got hurt. So I can't wait to see what he looks like with the Browns fully, somewhat healthy.
Saints beat the Bears 24-17. Saints are first place in the NFC South, and it looks like it's their division to lose, I guess, Raj.
Yeah,
they
even
4-4, 5-4. Yeah, 5-4.
Yeah, even though they're not a really good team, they still got a lot of veterans on that squad. David Carr included, and Tyson Hill included as well. They should make some noise if they make the playoffs, but they got to be more consistent, because I've seen games where they look well, but they can't move the ball, or David Carr, David Carr, or Carr can't hit the target or whatever, and they just don't look right sometimes. They have too many lapses, especially on offense. But hopefully they can put it together, and they can do their thing.
Another team, the Falcons are going to Falcon, Raj. We always say that, just like the Chargers are going to Charge, even though they did win tonight. Falcons lose to the Joshua Dobbs led Vikings. The Vikings are still in the playoff race right now with being a wild card. Win 31-28, last second touchdown from Dobbs. Tyler Heineke, former Commanders quarterback, started for the Falcons. But the Vikings, without Justin Jefferson, without Kirk Cousins, I mean, uh, what can you say, man? This team is resilient. I can't lie.
Oh man, awful, just awful if you're a Falcons fan. Because I mean, you get Joshua Dobbs. He hasn't been there but what 5 days. He doesn't know the playbook. He doesn't know who the people on the team are fully, and he goes out there and he just literally just destroys your secondary, especially when you knock out the starting quarterback. Uh, it's just awful. I'd be feeling terrible if I was a Falcons fan. But Tyler Heineke, he's a I guess he's a serviceable quarterback. Um, but yeah, man, that's pretty bad, man. That's pretty bad. No. Granted, Joshua Dobbs is a pro. He's been in the league for a very long time, and he knows what he's doing. But still, I mean, you got a guy that just got traded and doesn't know the damn playbook, and you're out there just losing to him in a consistent fashion. Completely sucks.
Real quick, Cardinals note Kyler Murray set to return this week as well. Just saw
Yeah,
that.
I bet he would after missing the Browns and Ravens games. He did not want no parts of neither one of these teams, and I don't blame him. He's a very smart man for that.
I like Kyler, man. I hope he does well. Maybe he can get traded to a contender or a team that needs a quarterback. It's going to be a lot of teams that need one. I want to get to this game real quick, Raj. Your boy Jordan Love, he did return back to form 20-3. They beat the lowly Rams. He threw for 228 and a touchdown. And the Packers get a win, as you throw up your love symbol.
Yes, they got to win, and my fantasy team got to win thanks to Jordan Love. So I'm loving Jordan right now. The Packers finally back on track. Aaron Jones is back in the lineup as well, scoring touchdowns. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. But he Jordan still got some more work to do. The Packers still got some more work to do. This is kind of a rebuilding year for them. We'll see if he's the quarterback going forward, but this is a good start, I guess. A good second start for him since, the team has been up pretty much down more so than up.
The game in the 1 o'clock window had to be the Texans and the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, he went back and forth, but CJ Stroud, whew, man, throwing for 5 touchdowns, 470 yards, 39-37. And the Texans are in the playoff race as well. D'Amico Ryan's doing a great job in his first year. Man, CJ Stroud, man. Did the Carolina Panthers fumble the bag, man?
Yes, they did. They should have picked CJ Stroud first because CJ Stroud can make every throw. He's very accurate and he doesn't turn the ball over too many times. I mean, this brother will be an elite quarterback um, probably by the end of this year. And going into next year, he's going to probably be, take the league by storm if they put more pieces around him. But he looks phenomenal, man. He's the real deal. 5 touchdowns, 470 yards is nothing to sneeze at as a rookie. This brother has it all, man, and this is only his first year, so I look forward to seeing him be very productive uh, for some more Sundays to come. But I will say this: I do kind of feel bad for the Buccaneers because Baker Mayfield did lead that charge down there that looked like he was going to win the game with the touchdown, and he's been playing pretty well with the Buccaneers this year as well. But it's just sometimes when you got a better quarterback and somewhat of a better team, they're going to find ways to win. And CJ Stroud, this was a really good, really, really, really good win for him this past season. I mean, I'm sorry, this past game.
Yes, David, we are. Ravens, Orioles coverage, all that good stuff. Real quick, the Texans' schedule is very favorable, so don't be surprised, guys, if the Texans can somehow maybe, I'm saying maybe, sneak into the wild card. They got a very favorable schedule. They got to play the Jets. They play the Cardinals. They got some favorable games, guys. They could sneak in, maybe even win. Well, probably not win the division, but they'll be right there maybe with the Jaguars. Let's get to the evening games because there was some noteworthy things there. Colts beat the Patriots 27-13. Raj, the Colts are still alive in the wild card as well. They are 4-5, and they beat the Ravens.
Yeah, that's one of the games that I don't even want to talk about that game. I mean, the Ravens were awful, but the Colts. I mean, they're a very sneaky team. They play extremely hard. They play a rough style of football, and seeing them up close and personal, they don't make too many mistakes. They don't have the best quarterback play of all either, but still they run the football pretty well. They got a good passing game, and they play really good defense. So if you can do all three of those somewhat efficiently, you'll find your way. You'll find yourself probably being at least 500 or better. But yeah, I'm not surprised at all that they're still in the playoff race.
I want to talk about this Raiders game for a second. They defeated the Giants 30-6. You know Daniel Jones tore his ACL. Antonio Pierce, and I didn't know this till today. New interim head coach, former Giants Super Bowl champion middle linebacker. The Raiders have a black GM, a woman that is a black woman as president. We know about Mark Davis, son of Al Davis. Antonio Pierce. Now they messed up before. They didn't hire Basaccia when he was the interim coach. They brought in Josh McDaniels. Apparently they ripped him a new a-hole when he was crying and upset and got fired. Antonio Pierce, man, could they have something in Raider Nation? And I think Antonio Pierce would fit that fan base. Grew up a Raiders fan from California. Gotta like what you've seen from them this week, at least for this week for the Raiders.
I like Antonio. I like Antonio Pierce, man. I always did like him, especially when he played for the Giants back in the day. I thought the guy was a pretty good player. And it looks like he's going to be a really pretty good head coach as well. I think they should just go ahead and give him, well, of course he's going to be an interim coach for the rest of the year, but if they do pretty well, I give him a shot next year to be the head coach of the team. They responded really well to him, especially beating the lowly Giants. But I think that they needed a clean house over there with the Raiders. I mean, Josh McDaniels, we already know that he's not a good head coach. We've seen it with the Broncos back in the day. Then it reared its ugly head again with this team. He's just not a leader of men. He really isn't. He's pretty much a offensive coordinator, which he excels at. So I think this was probably his last shot at being a head coach. I don't think he gets another opportunity. He doesn't really deserve one, because I think this is the second time he's got fired in the middle of the season. So I mean, it just is what it is. But Mark Davis made the right choice by firing everybody, the GM included. They're not getting the job done over there in Oakland. Well, I'm sorry, Las Vegas. They're not getting the job done. So we'll see what happens going forward. We'll see what they do with Devontae Adams. Maybe he can turn it around with Antonio Pierce. Not sure about it, but I'm glad that Mark, finally woke up and was like, you know what, let me take control of this situation because we're going nowhere, and we got Devontae Adams over here, very upset. Most of the team is very upset. Jimmy Garoppolo's playing terrible. Let's make a change now. Let's try to salvage some of the season at least, and let's try to build for the future. So I thought it was a good move by him. And although it's costly, it really is costly because he's already paying John Gruden a lot of money. He's going to be paying Josh McDaniels a ton of money as well. But it needed to be done, man. And hopefully this time around, he makes the right decisions as an owner to better suit this Raiders franchise.
And also, speaking of, what was I about to say? The Raiders, our boy Tom Brady's in ownership now. So, Brady ain't trying to lose.
Yeah, Brady definitely don't like to lose.
Eagles in the thrilling victory over the Cowboys 28-23. I keep thinking about those goofy fans at the wonderful establishment you guys were at yesterday, hijacking our post-game show. But, I mean, Dak played well. I'm not going to come at him. And the Eagles, I don't know what's going on with Jalen Hurts. Looks like he's a little limpy, gimpy, whatever you want to call it. But the Eagles win again. They win ugly. They win flashy. They're 8-1.
Yeah, they find ways to get it done. I will say that they're very consistent at being in close games. but they find ways to win. And yes, Jalen Hurts did get hurt at the middle of at the end of the game, but he found a way to stay in the game, and they found a way to win. Cowboys, this wasn't Dak's fault, so I can't really blame Dak for this loss. They just got beat by a better Eagles team, and they the Eagles pretty much own the Cowboys at this point. But it's no shock that they lost. That the Eagles, this is what they do, man. David might be right. It might be Ravens versus Eagles in the Super Bowl. I would love to see that.
I
That
don't
would
want
be
the
great.
no. I'm scared of the Eagles. No, I don't want
You
the
don't want to see you don't want to see the Eagles fly?
no. I
Fly
don't want to
Eagles
see the
fly?
no. I don't want to see the Eagles fly because they might fly over the Ravens. Nope,
Oh
I'm good.
wow, wow. You want to see the Chiefs, but you don't want to see the Eagles.
I'll
That's
take playing the Chiefs over playing the Eagles. Yes, we have a
wow.
better chance of beating the Chiefs. We can match
Yeah.
up with the Chiefs better. I'm scared of the
Okay.
Eagles a little bit.
All right.
A little
Well,
scared of the Eagles, man.
okay.
AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard, Swift, Hurts with the tush push. Their offensive line is good. The defense is still good. I'm a little worried, man. I mean, we could beat them, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Man, if we can beat the Chiefs, we can beat the Eagles, man. That's all I'm gonna say. If we can beat the Chiefs, we can beat the Eagles. I'm not afraid of them
Let's
at
see how the year
all.
plays out. Then maybe I'll be a little bit more worried.
And the only reason I'm saying that is because I seen the Jets beat them, and the Jets offense sucks. So if our defense can play like that against them, I know our offense is way better than that, and we can take care of them. But that's neither hit. That's neither said. Neither
Hopefully, we'll have that. That's a good problem to have, maybe to talk about.
right, exactly. But whatever. Anyways, the Cowboys lost to the Eagles. Not surprising at all. Um, we can keep it moving.
Bengals on Sunday night beat the Bills 24-18. I mean, we all kind of saw this coming, but the Bills 5-4, Bengals getting hot yet again after starting 0-2. They would be the first team to make the playoffs 2 straight years after starting 0-2 both years.
Correct. And the Bengals, this is what they do. They start off really slow. They had some injuries with the quarterback, and I guess the calf is healed because the way he was moving last night. I mean, he looked phenomenal, man. So I hate to say it, man. The Bengals might be back to what they were last season. They gave the Ravens a hell of a challenge, but I hope Lamar Jackson can come back. I'm sorry. I hope Lamar Jackson stays healthy against Joe Burrow and them damn Bengals, man. Because after watching last night, I'm just like, damn. I knew the Bills didn't have a chance in hell after I saw that first drive. I was like, this might be a wrap because the Bills are not the same team they were the last 2 years. They haven't gotten a run game, which I don't understand for the life of me. This is what they should have done in the offseason was give Josh Allen a run game. Get him anybody that can run the football efficiently and effectively so he doesn't have to do everything. But they rely on the pass too much. They rely on Stephon Diggs too much, and it usually costs them in the end. And he's throwing interceptions left and right, and he's getting sacked when he shouldn't be getting sacked. And on top of that, he runs the football too much as a quarterback. And he takes big hits. He takes more hits than Lamar Jackson does. So it didn't surprise me at all that they lost. Um, the Bills got a lot of soul searching to do. They need I don't know exactly what they need to do. The trade deadline is gone, so they can't go out there and get a running back. But the Bills are in prime position right now to make a run, and they just look like the same team I've seen the last 2 years. They look really good on offense, and the defense is starting to really come around again. But time will tell when we see them on Thursday night.
And if you didn't know, of course, the Ravens beat the Seahawks 37-3. Both local teams won, and the Commanders beat the Patriots 2017. And real quick, Chargers beat the Jets 27-6. Raj, I know we're gonna do game ball. Let's do game ball, not so game ball. Let's get your game ball and not so game ball of the week. I have a certain team that I want to lay into for my just not so game ball. But go ahead, Raj.
Well, let me say my game ball. My game ball has to go to the Baltimore Ravens, man. I don't know what you're laughing at, David. You know exactly what I'm talking about with the Bills. But other than that, my game ball goes to the Baltimore Ravens because they took care of business. They look phenomenal. Defense, offense, all the above. Besides the turnovers, or the fumbles. They went out there and destroyed the Seattle Seahawks, who were 5-2 at the time, and looking like one of the best teams in the NFC. The Ravens continue to do what they do, push forward, make progress, and make winning a lot more easier than they did in the past. So they get my game ball. My not so game ball has to go to this damn New York Jets team, man. What they had a golden opportunity to take an advantage in their division, and they came out here today and laid a complete egg at home on Monday Night Football against the Chargers and that goofy head coach. Uh, terrible loss for the Jets. They took a seat back within their division, and they're still looking up to the Bills and the Dolphins. And it just is what it is, man. But those are my game ball and that's what game ball.
Well, David, we live kind of east, most of us, I think. Yeah, most of us. David, thank you for watching, man. Appreciate you being here the whole show. Just wanted to shout you out. I'm going to call the Maryland Terrapins football team to the front of the congregation because they need this, and they need it expeditiously, as T.I. would say. If you don't know, the Maryland Terrapins started out 5-0, ladies and gentlemen. We were feeling good about this team. Thought they could possibly compete with the upper echelon teams of the Big Ten. Cervantes, the Ohio State Buccaneers, number one team in the country right now. Michigan with Jim Harbaugh, number 2 or 3 ranked team. I think number 3 after Georgia. Penn State, number 11 now, one of the best teams in the country. And this team lost all 3 games. Not only did they lose to the Ohio State, actually were leading at halftime. Not only did they get throttled, get their pants pulled down 51-15 this past Saturday against Penn State, looking like a goddamn mustard with those ugly ass uniforms. Man, I don't know what the hell they was wearing with the gold and I don't know. Look like Commanders ripoffs if you ask me, because it looked terrible. It looked like they was a big bottle of mustard, and they played like mustard because they didn't do anything. Um, they lose. Not only do they lose to the big boys, they lose at home during homecoming to Illinois. Who? Yes, Illinois football. Then they go to Northwestern in front of a high school audience and lose to Northwestern, who only scored 7 points this past week. They lose 51-15. And not only did that, negative 49 rushing yards. Yes, negative 49 rushing yards this past weekend against Penn State. Mike Loxley, yes, you coached at Alabama. Yes, you coached Tua. Now you're coaching Little Tua. You've been here 6 years. You are 26-32. You have not beaten Ohio State. You have not beaten Michigan. You beat Penn State once, and that was during the COVID year. You have not won the big game. And Cravante, I think I feel like you feel with the Commanders. It might be time to clean house for Maryland. I thought Loxley could have been the guy. I love what they're doing basketball wise with Kevin Willard. I think they could be a Sweet 16 team this year, basketball. Stay tuned. We'll be talking about that. College basketball started tonight. But Damon Evans, your ass might need to go. Athletic director. I know you be on Vinny and Haney sometimes, but your ass might need to go. Mike Loxley, you might need to join him. Tua, little Tua, as I call you, because he's Tua's brother and he can't hold the jockstrap to Tua. You need to go too. Thankfully, it's your last year. Get your ass out of here too. The offensive linemen look like little kids. They can't block a nosebleed because they I don't know what they. It's like they're tissues up there, man. They can't block anybody. The receivers, I don't know who. I don't even think they. I don't. I mean, let me look at this box score. Did they do anything noteworthy in this game? They only
No,
scored
they
15
didn't. They
points.
turned the ball over too many times.
I mean, let's see. The receiver.
You on mute.
They were cutting my mic in Maryland. 75 yards. I mean, they only, like I said, they had negative 49 rushing yards, negative 3.1. This team may not win another game this season. To potentially start 5-0 and not win another game. They play Nebraska this week. Nebraska has the same record as Maryland on the road. They play Michigan after that. You know they're not beating Michigan with or without Jim Harbaugh. I could be coaching and they'll beat Maryland by 20. And then they play Rutgers. If you don't know about Rutgers this year, they've been a doormat in college football. But now they got Greg Schiano, former NFL coach. They are 6-3, and they actually played Ohio State really tough this weekend and could have won that game. But Marvin Harrison Jr. did Marvin Harrison Jr. things. Cravante, I know you're watching. Gotta love what you're seeing out of your Ohio State Buckeyes. But this team could start 5-0 and literally lose out, and that would put Mike Locksley at what 26-35 record wise. If he's 26-32. And you know what's going to happen now with this NIL deal and the transfer portal, Raj, and everybody listening? What are people going to do when you lose like this? They're going to leave.
Eve.
They're going to leave your ass, just like a white girl when she take your money. You know, they're going to leave your ass, just like these situations we see every day with the O'Shea Duke Jackson videos and Tariq Nasheed's and Corey Holcomb's. Just when you don't have it no more, they're going to leave your ass, and that's what's going to happen with Maryland, unfortunately. These players that they have are going to leave. These commitments that they have, these 3 and 4 star recruits, even guys in the local area, they aren't going to Maryland. D can tell you. We know it. These guys aren't going to Maryland. They're going to other schools. They're going to the Michigans, Ohio States. They're going to the Alabamas. They're going to the USCs. They're going to damn Charlotte, who has a lot of people from Maryland staying here to play in the DMV area. This team is trash. The whole football uh, organization is trash. I think it's time to get rid of everybody because they're all trash. And I think a lot of the players are going to leave because they are trash. They don't want to spend any NIL money. How do you have, speaking of which, you got Scott Van Pelt, who's on ESPN every night, the #1 late night sports show, regardless if you like it or not. And you can't get a goddamn #1 recruit. You can't get anybody to come play football for your team. You can't get legit offensive linemen that can't stop a turnstile at the subway. What the hell are we doing, Maryland football? You got to do better. Basketball's figured it out. Basketball, they got the same division. They got to go up against the Michigan States, the Ohio States, the Rutgers, and they're going to be good this year. What the hell are we doing in football that we cannot put a legitimate, watchable product on the field that this team can start 5-0 and lose all of these games and get annihilated at home, berated, castrated, pants pulled down, and have negative 49 rushing yards? You could literally fall forward and do the tush push 50 times and get more yards than negative 49. This team is an atrocity. It is ridiculous. I denounced them. I rebuked them. And quite frankly, fuck Maryland football right now because they are some shit and they are terrible. And it is a disgrace to watch. It is a waste of my Saturday afternoon to spend time watching this team. And if you're a supporter of Maryland football, Scott Van Pelt, Kevin Plank of Under Armour, myself, I know Raj, D, everybody, Dre, it's terrible. I'm not going to. I thought about going to a game this year. I'm not going. I'm just happy basketball's here because Maryland football, you are trash. And I don't know what the hell y'all are doing, man. It is sad to see, and it is time to get rid of everybody. I'm going to give you guys the best. Negative 49 rushing yards. Dre, welcome back, man.
That was hold up. That was beautiful, man. I'm gonna have to cut that segment out and make it his own thing.
Dre,
That was beautiful.
Man.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was
Yeah,
beautiful.
that was. I like that soliloquy right there, brother. That was really good, man.
I just had to say it because I've been holding on to it since Saturday, man. We had a great stream Saturday, by the way. Like Rod said, best stream of the year. Thank you everybody for watching. You know, the pay-per-view wasn't perfect, but it was something. You know, it's wrestling. I enjoy watching it with you guys. Then to sit back and watch that atrocity for nearly 3 hours. I can't believe this, man. Go ahead, Dre, man.
I'm
Anything you
surprised.
want
I'm
to touch on?
surprised you watched it, man. I told you last time I went to a Maryland game, they was getting their behinds blown out the water by the Ohio State. It was a damn shame. That thing was 40 at halftime, and then when it got to 50, everybody just
This is a damn shame, man. It's ridiculous, man. Travante, I now know how you feel watching. At least the Commanders are 500. At least the Commanders
It's
flirt with
about 40.
mediocrity. At
Yo,
least the
Rod.
Commanders flirt with
I think
mediocrity.
I
The
think I
Falcons are
told
terrible.
I think I told Byron the story, but I don't think I told you, or I might have told Cravante. Yo, this is a few years ago too. I had went. This is like when Maryland like first joined the Big Ten, and this girl asked me to. She had tickets. She was like, "You want to go see Maryland?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll go see Maryland. It's Maryland, the Ohio State." Man, this is when Urban Meyer was coaching them. I think Dwayne Haskins was the quarterback. Bro, like it was like 42 to nothing at like halftime for real. Yo, it was so bad that like the Maryland people left. So and matter of fact, Shane was at that same game too. Bro, they scored another touchdown and then they were up by 50. The Ohio State fans started leaving the stadium because we just all knew like they wasn't coming back. I was like, bro, this is ridiculous. And you said basketball, Maryland's always been really good when it comes to basketball, at least competing wise, but football, man, you're right. I just don't understand. I don't understand that when you have resources like that, like you said, Scott Van Pelt, who was a advocate for for Maryland, and nothing. So they got to do
Kevin Plank
something.
is a billionaire. He owns Under Armour. I mean, come on, man. He got a whole factory out here. Come on. He sponsors your school's uniforms, I think. What the hell are you doing? What are we doing? Look, you got Steph Curry, you got Tom Brady on Under Armour, you got other notable names. I mean,
The
what the hell are we
Rock.
doing, man? Yeah,
Yep,
Oh,
The Rock.
Dre, there you go. There you go. You preaching, brother. You preaching, man. I just had to get that off my chest, man. I couldn't believe that, man. Couldn't believe it.
I have no words for Maryland. Honestly, I have no words for them. They've been awful for a very long time. They should have never gotten rid of Ralph Region. I think you should have just
yeah, I
stayed.
agree with that. Yeah.
That was the dumbest decisions they ever made, and ever since then they just never been right.
And not to mention, unfortunately, we lost Jordan McNair, the offensive lineman who died on that
Mhm.
trash regime that was before Loxley. Loxley comes from under our boy Nick Saban. I'm thinking, okay, they might have a guy. He's a black guy. Damon Evans is a black athletic director. Looks like they could be turning the tide. I know it's going to take 3 or 4 years. They're in the Big Ten, one of the toughest conferences in football. This team has regressed instead of progressed every season. And the fact that they started off undefeated and they're going to lose out. Matter of fact, they are going to lose out. Not if. When they lose out, they deserve their ass whooped in front of everybody at that damn stadium because they can't even sell it out. It takes other teams, like Dre said, to come in here and sell out the damn stadium.
And that's a nice stadium too. That's the sad part.
Go ahead, Dre, with your game ball, not so game ball, man. I can rag on Maryland all night. Thankfully, basketball for them starts tomorrow. Should be a good season. Shout out to Kevin Willard and that team because they are going to do big things. Mark my words, this season and in future seasons, they could hopefully bring another national championship to the Baltimore and Maryland area.
Oh man, how do you follow that, man? Like that was just so good, so eloquent. uh, my, you know what? I'm gonna do my not so game ball. Arizona, for them to be shut out. I mean, the Arizona's been competitive, but I understand Cleveland's tough. But damn, you got shut out like 27-0. Um, that's just damn. Especially after they was able to, kind of give the Ravens a little bit of a push, even though it was in garbage time. And I want to give an honorary not so game ball to the Carolina Panthers. I was in Indiana over the weekend, and seeing that the Panthers, uh, man, you guys were talking about C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, and man, Bryce Young, god damn. I mean, honestly, I don't know if it's the quarterback or the coach, but something ain't clicking. And maybe it's just the coach too, because Frank, he was up and down with the Colts, and now with the Panthers, something ain't right. But something's just not clicking right there with the Panthers, and it's a damn shame when they showing highlights of the other team scoring, getting pick sixes, because the guys from the Carolinas compared to your quarterback who's throwing 3+ interceptions out there. I mean, that's just horrible right there, man. So um, those are my not so game balls, and then my game ball. Um, you know what? I'm gonna have to give it to Dobbs from the Vikings. I mean, to like you guys were saying, I mean this guy with only 5 days, he's up there learning the playbook as he's playing, and then to still get victory. I mean, damn, at least even the backup quarterback somewhat knows the playbook. This brother learning it on the spot and figuring it out. I mean, they up there talking how much of a genius this guy is, like he's a rocket scientist. They up there tweeting congratulations and stuff to him. I mean, this is you can't make this stuff up. I mean, that's literally like the grocery man coming in there and then just killing it. I mean, you can't make some stuff up in sports. So that's all I can say about that. But that's my game ball, man.
All right, let's get to these picks real quick and quickly touch on
Uh,
WWE before we get out of here. Dre, I don't know if you have the numbers, but
yeah. All right. So with the picks, this is total thus far. Well, what was it? We're on week 10, week
Mhm.
9.
Yep.
going into week 10.
Week 9, I led with 11-2. Cravante at 10-3. Unc, you were 8-5, and Byron, you were 6-7. Overall, the overall record, I'm in first place, 95-55. Cravante is in second place, 87-63. Byron, you're in third place, 83-67, and then Unc, you're 82-68.
Oh wow.
Man, it's one of those seasons, man. I'm worse than Maryland. Thursday, speaking
Not
of
worse
worse,
than Byron.
we got Panthers Bears on Thursday. I will not be watching this game.
Let me see. Oh, I'm going with the Panthers. I'll go with the Panthers.
Oh, I don't even know if Justin Fields is playing though.
Probably not.
I mean, honestly, these are two big. All right, you talked about Maryland. NFL, what are y'all doing? I mean, put out these trash games for. I mean, it's one thing with Thursdays, but damn, I mean, Mondays was trash today with the Chargers and the Jets.
And it's trash next
I
week with
mean,
the Bills and the damn Broncos.
it's and then it's trash on Monday with Denver and Buffalo. Sunday is trash. You got the Jets and the Raiders. I mean, come on, NFL. We got it. We got to do better than this. I mean, damn.
Can we start
Just
flexing?
damn.
Please, just start flexing. Speaking of flexing, we're
Yeah.
gonna flex these damn games.
Y'all need to, because this is who
That's
would
all.
want to watch this? If I'm
Put the
paying for
Ravens and Browns
Amazon,
on Sunday night for all this. Damn it.
I mean, damn, I would rather, like, if I'm paying for Amazon, why would I want to watch this trash product?
Oh, you're not paying for it. It's free. If you know how to, if you know where to go at. If you just know where to go at, it's
Don't
free.
let
You
Big
know what,
Brother
Raj?
listen. Don't
Give
let
me the
Big Brother be
Panthers too,
listening
Raj.
to you.
I
But I
don't
just
trust
had
the
to
Bears.
get that out there.
I don't trust the Bears either. Give me the Panthers, damn it. I don't know. Just give me the Panthers.
I don't know. You know what? I'm a reach. I'm gonna take the Bears. So y'all two taking the Panthers?
Yes.
Yeah, I just
Taking the
think Bryce
Panthers.
Young. I just think Bryce Young is better than whoever's at quarterback for the
He
Bears. Agent.
is, but I don't know. It's in
Listen,
Chicago,
I
so
still
we'll
think
see.
Bryce is good. I think Bryce is just having his rookie downfall. They have a bad
Oh yeah,
offensive
for sure.
line. They, yeah. Brown. Let's go to Colts Patriots. That's 9:30 from Germany, by the way.
Colts.
Yeah,
See,
give me the Colts too. I picked the Patriots
Uh,
last week. I won't do
you
it
know
again.
what? I'm gonna take the Colts too.
Texans Bengals. That should be a good game. 1:00.
yeah, it should be, but I gotta go with the Bengals.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Agreed. Packers Steelers. I'm going with the Steelers. Boy,
Yeah, I'm going with the
Yeah,
Steelers.
Steelers.
I know Sharon is somewhere having a great time. The
I,
Steelers are
I
going to be
know.
6-3.
Yeah, she is. She's very excited.
Titans Buccaneers. This should be an interesting one.
I'm going with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, me too.
Give me the Titans. This is an ugly game. This is a pick 'em, really. Give me the Titans. I like Will Levis, what he's doing. Ooh, 49ers Jaguars. This is a good game on Fox. 1 o'clock.
I'm going with the 49ers. They got to find a way to bounce back. They can't continue to keep
I
losing
agree.
all these damn games. 40. I'm picking.
And they're coming off a bye with Chase Young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
give me the
said
Niners.
you said that's who you got, Byron. You
40.
got the
Yeah, we both got the
49ers?
49ers. Yeah, Roger that.
No, I got Jacksonville, man. I think that Jacksonville, man. I
It
think the
would not
train
surprise me,
continues.
Dre. It would not surprise me, Dre. And the Ravens have to go to Jacksonville coming up on a Sunday night. That'll be a tough game. Jacksonville's good as anybody in the AFC, man.
So
Like I said, don't be surprised if they make a run.
it's always a tough game with them.
Agreed. Saints Vikings. Ooh, give me the Saints.
I'll take the Saints as well. I don't think Josh Dobbs is going to be able to save them this week.
Oh, you said you got Minnesota on?
I got the Saints.
Oh, you got the
Both
Saints.
got the
Okay.
Saints. Yeah,
Byron, who you got?
Saints as well.
Uh, damn. I don't know because New Orleans been so up and down, and this game is in Minnesota. I'll choose the Vikings.
Falcons Cardinals. Kyler Murray returns. Do they get a win?
Yes, I'm picking the Cardinals to win.
Yeah,
I think that Kyler Murray returning is a good thing, and I think he'll bring some stability back to that position. Plus, the Falcons are not playing extremely good football right now.
You know, that would not shock me, but for the sake of picks, I'm going to pick the Falcons just to be different. But I do think the Cardinals might actually, I like Kyler Murray. I still think he's a good quarterback. I think
of
if they
course.
trade him in the offseason, he's going to help a team out. Maybe, I don't know who, but we'll see. It's going to be teams that need quarterbacks. Lions, Chargers. That's going to be a good game.
Where they at?
Give me the Lions.
It's in LA.
It's in. But you know it's going to be a lot of Lions fans there. You can give me the Lions off a bye.
Yeah, I'm picking the Lions too. I am definitely.
Same.
Giants, Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Daniel Jones.
Them Cowboys.
It's an easy one.
The spread is, I don't know if you guys guessed it, but the spread is 16.5 for the Cowboys. Cravante, if you're listening. Commanders, Seahawks. This is a tricky game, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks to bounce back.
Yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks.
It's in Seattle, yeah. Hey, Byron, you had Dallas for the last game?
Yes, sir.
All right. And everybody choosing
Sunday
Seattle
night.
for this one, too. Okay.
Yeah, I'm choosing Seattle.
Jets, Raiders on Sunday night. Dre, you like Antonio Pierce? What he's doing, man? I'm going with the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Yeah, I'm not. I
Give
can't.
me them.
They in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah, they in Vegas.
Yeah, with the coaching change and the way they're playing right now, I'm picking the Raiders as well.
Like Raj said, they win this game, man. Just go ahead and get a man a damn job. Don't even play around with it. Broncos, Bills on Monday Night Football. And I'll get to the Ravens last.
Damn. I mean, both teams ain't all that, but Buffalo should be better. So give me Buffalo, man.
I'm taking Buffalo too.
Same. Last but not least, Browns come to Baltimore and face the Ravens. Battle of AFC North teams.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm picking the Ravens as well. I'm going to say they're going to blow them out.
I think it's going to be an ugly game. I mean, the Ravens might blow them out, but I don't think it could be like a 20-16, 20-14 type game.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a closer game than what you're saying. But my hope is that they take care of business early, so that way they can kind of do like they did yesterday, fourth quarter, rest Lamar, and then get ready for the Bengals on Thursday. But everybody's choosing Baltimore.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Those are our Week 10 picks. I know Cravante will get his in. Real quick, before we get out of here, guys, I wanted to touch on a little bit of WWE real quick. We got Crown Jewel in the rear view, Survivor Series. We got War Games announced tonight, CM Punk rumors. Dre, I'm going to start with you real quick, man. Anything you want to touch on, man, about Crown Jewel, hidden Survivor Series? Looks like it's going to be Team Cody versus Team Judgment Day. Looks like it's going to be Cody, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, and Sami Zayn against the Judgment Day of Priest, Finn Balor, Jaden McDonough, and Dominic Mysterio. So no Roman, no Bloodline, which I think is dumb. But we got a couple matches announced tonight. Gunther, Miz, Rhea, Zoe Stark. How you feeling about these WWE things and CM Punk, your boy?
This is slowly starting to become not a
right off.
This is slowly starting to become, I'm over here excited trying to, go to Chicago and make this trip because well, y'all know I love Chicago, but I never been to the Survivor Series, so that's what a thing is. If I go to the Survivor Series, then I only have SummerSlam left to go to as far as the big four pay-per-views. But god damn, this thing don't seem like it's worth a damn. Um, I'm up here telling y'all in the chat it's about to be the Man versus Rhea Ripley, like in Chicago, and we got Zoe Stark versus Rhea Ripley. You have War Games, but we've got the Judgment Day versus Team Cody. Like I'm excited that like yeah, it's good to have Cody, but what the fuck about the Judgment? I mean about the Bloodline. Like for all that, you could have had Roman versus LA Knight in Chicago as opposed to Crown Jewel. What are you doing? Like Crown Jewel. I mean, for the pay per view was cool. I thought that was a little funny at the end with Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio when he was saying "I love you, Rey," and then Rey was like, "You know what you did." That was a little funny. Of course, I knew Cody was going to beat Damian Priest. You knew Rhea was going to keep her title. Drew and Seth. That that's another matchup too. I'm just like, damn, y'all could have kept that for Chicago. Like it seemed like Drew was about to try to get his revenge or something, but I don't understand that one. But what else? It was Bianca Belair. That was pretty cool to see that match, and to see the return of who was it?
Kyrie
Who
Sane. Kyrie Sane.
Kyrie
Yeah.
Sane? Because
They
I
could have
mean,
saved that
last
for
time,
Chicago, Dre. Because the fans didn't know who she was inside. Could have saved that for Chicago.
man, I mean that it was good to see the return, but then now they're trying to have the backstory of which was a little confusing to me because I thought the backstory was I thought it was Nia Jax that got her out of WWE, not Bailey. But they up there talking about Bailey got her out. I'm like, no, Nia Jax destroyed her little ass. So that's why she got out of WWE. Um, but I mean, it's good to see her back, and now we don't know about Io
This man
Sky.
got out of WWE. That's who got out of WWE.
I mean, for all that, I mean, might as well have Oscar join them too, and then it'd be a whole Asian, group right there. I mean, at that point, um, well, look, don't, no, I don't want nobody hit me with no racism. I mean, they were legit tag partners with Oscar, y'all. I mean, this is true. This is, uh,
I'd rather
but
see your girl Nia Jax against Rhea Dre at this point in Chicago. For real. I
might as
would.
well. I mean, I don't understand what the hell is going on. Like, it's like this thing ain't even worth the price of admission at some point. Um, but I mean, the Crown Jewel was cool. I don't know what they're doing with the Survivor Series, and this is not getting me excited at all. Um, I know we were talking back and forth in the group about whether or not it should be champion versus champion or the traditional Raw versus SmackDown. I mean, for all that, I mean, if you're going to put this type of product on, you might as well have Raw versus SmackDown. Um, at least last year for War Games, that was interesting, with the bloodline and seeing where Sami Zayn's loyalty was going to be. Then you had, everybody that was hating the bloodline the whole year, fighting them. This year, I mean, the Judgment Day is cool, but the Judgment Day is kind of also a joke too. Like at least the Bloodline leading into it last year, they hadn't lost. I don't know how many times the Judgment Day done lost. They done had the tag belts, lost the tag belts. You have Finn Balor versus Edge, and then like when they get these big, storylines, they lose. I mean, you had like I said, Damian Priest lost to Cody last night. So
Then they're gonna lose at War Games. Then they're gonna lose at War Games. Sure.
the only person winning from the damn group consistently is Rhea. Besides Rhea, believe it or not, Dominic is up there too winning. Like that's kind of a damn shame when these are the two most consistent people winning in the Judgment Day, but the two people who are supposed to be like the two leaders, Finn Balor a former Universal Champion, and then what's he calls himself? L Money in the Bank or Senor
Senor
Money in the
Money in the Bank.
Bank up there losing too. I'm like, come on, bro. How am I supposed to believe that y'all gonna win? There's no point for this war games. Like I'm just not excited, man. I mean, but Crown Jewel, you kind of knew who was going to win, who wasn't going to win. Um, but there needs the tribal chief needs to be at Survivor Series. I just don't know who he would fight at this point because they've already done the whole him versus LA Knight thing. And if you were going to bring it back, at least have a DQ finish. Don't have him straight up lose to the tribal chief because now we don't know when the world's going to happen.
Raj, your thoughts, man? Anything before we get out of here?
Bro, I'm extremely tired right now. I don't really care. Um, we covered Crown Jewel on Saturday, so I thought that was a okay pay per view. We heard that Roman Reigns probably won't be back until the Royal Rumble, or at least close to a Royal Rumble, which is crazy. And that looks like that rumor is true. CM Punk coming to the WWE would be interesting, but we'll see what happens with that. It would be so shock. Well, it wouldn't be shocking if he didn't show up at Survivor Series because his hometown is Chicago. I'm pretty sure the fans will be shouting his name at some point during the night. The announcement of Gunther versus The Miz is troubling. I don't care to see that nonsense. The Miz has not been relevant to me since 2011, so that's just ridiculous.
You didn't even like his IC title runs though?
Not really. I mean, it was okay. Him and Daniel Bryan going back and forth on SmackDown, that was cool. But
or him versus Ziggler, you didn't like that?
I'm talking about as far as being a major player, he has not been that since 2011.
That's true, yeah.
So, but anyways, that they made that match. I don't care to see that. The War Games match with the Judgment Day and Cody and his gang of misfits. We've been seeing this for the last 3-4 months or whatever. I mean, it's kind of old right now. We already know who's going to win, and of course Cody and them are going to win because Cody is being pushed to be the guy at Mania. You know, since Dwayne is about to go back to Hollywood, so that's already in the making. It's predictable.
Finishing the story. I mean, I don't mind finishing the story, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't feel like it has to be rushed because my only thing is once you finish the story, then what? That's just my thing.
The same thing that always happens when the guy
I want him
has a
to
title.
finish the story, but I just want to know what's next. That's my whole issue with it.
You want to Goldberg, you want who's next? But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's just WWE is in a flux of transition right now. Of I'm guessing Vince being pushed out and Triple H fully taken over. So there's some remnants of Vince still around that needs to be just taken out completely. But we'll see what they do after Survivor Series. We'll see how they prepare for WrestleMania. Hopefully we should be getting our tickets around Royal Rumble time. Hopefully,
if it's worth it. Sure.
If it's worth it, but yeah, man, we'll see what happens down the stretch.
Raj just wants to be in the building.
I just want to be in the building. I just want to go to a wrestle. I've never been to one, so
agreed.
And it's close by, so that's another reason to go. But other than that, I'm just hoping the product is better around that time than it is right now. Right now, it's pretty dry. We already know a lot of things that are going on. Roman's going on vacation for 2 months. And I mean, LA Knight is okay, but still, he has some work to do. But other than that, the product is okay. I'm just glad you didn't ask me about AEW. That's a whole nother situation to talk about.
We said it on the live stream Saturday, Raj. Both companies are kind of meh right now. It's not really too much to get you excited about, really. Not much.
Well, I mean, I do like it that Punk may return, but I feel like it's kind of too little, too late. Like the first time he didn't work out with AEW, it would have been better. But now it's like okay, we can kind of do without it. And then you guys were saying if he was to come back, he would probably face like Seth. And then if he wins the belt for all that, I would have rather had Edge defeat Seth instead of Punk, if that's the direction that they're going to go in. I'd rather see, honestly, Punk versus Roman. But if Punk had first came back, I could see him beating Roman. But now that he had that whole AEW run and everything, I'm like, no, don't you can't put the belt on. You just be somebody for the tribal chief to run through.
Well, episode 416 next week, Dre. What can the people expect?
Hey, I mean, more great content. I believe when's the Ohio State game versus Michigan? I know it's coming up.
That is at the end of the month.
End of the month, okay. But look, we got hopefully the Survivor Series card will be better. We might have some guests, in between, and we'll see what happens here on the Flex Zone.
Raj, a lot of content on the channel. I mean, speaking of which, we will be live for Full Gear and Survivor Series starting next week. Back-to-back weekends of wrestling, and we've got the Ravens previews and post-game shows as usual this week.
Hey, man, the views have been going up as of late, so that's a good thing. We're back on track with that. But yeah, check out AEW Dynamite Wednesday. Preview for the Ravens and Browns game coming up as well. Set another pay-per-view this week? Is it nothing?
So next week is Full Gear.
Oh yeah,
and
next
week
week is
after
Full
Survivor
Gear.
Series.
So next week, your boy.
Man, Full Gear looks like it's like, yeah.
Full Gear should be fun.
AEW does usually do good pay-per-views. I will say.
I will be in the building at Jimmy's for that. So I will be. I'll probably make my last return to Jimmy's Seafood for Full Gear. Got to use my coupon, baby. But other than that, we'll be live for that as well. So stay tuned, and we'll have Survivor Series that Thanksgiving Day weekend. So stay tuned for that as well. But plenty of content for the channel. Just stay tuned. Let us know what you think in the comment section. And hit that bell and hit that like, because that's what we do. We hit the bell and the like when we like things.
Crazy enough, Dre and Raj, the Ohio State-Michigan game is the same day as Survivor Series. That game is at 12, and Survivor Series is that night. So Thanksgiving weekend will be full of sports fun. Executive producer Andre Melton, senior producer Cavante Harrod, he'll be back next week repping his Commanders. He'll give us a recap of the trade deadline, cleaning house, and their game against the Seahawks. Big Raj is the social media producer, God's favorite host, yours truly, associate producer. FlexZone1 on Twitter, Instagram, flexzone1@gmail.com. David, go ahead and email us, man. You want to be on the show? The email is there. FlexZone Podcast on TikTok, and donate to that Cash App, the FlexZone1. Throw your ones up, acknowledge the Hit of the Sports Podcast table. We'll see you next week for episode 416, recapping Ravens Browns. Preview will be this week. Post-game show this week. Much more coming soon to the channel. AEW on Wednesday. And of course, Survivor Series and Full Gear, and much, much more. For Dre, Raj, and myself, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the comments, love, support. And you may see that Maryland video, like Raj said, on the channel tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Only place giving you sports how you want it, fellas.
When you need it.
We'll see you this week with content on the channel, and next Monday for episode 416 on the Flex Zone Podcast. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.